Hello there. I'm going to finally do the chicken coop tour video that I've been putting off for a while because I wanted to make sure I had everything in the coop that I wanted, and as I'm sure it's going to continually evolve, I decided to just go ahead and give it a shot. So back in 2009, we built this chicken coop for our original 3 hens. And actually the coop was a bit smaller. It had just the 2 windows next to the door, and then about 5 years later my husband added on another 2 feet, giving it 4 windows on the front. And it used to be yellow, and as you can see, the hen collecting box is on the left side there. So we just take 2 steps up the planter wall and are able to collect the eggs. At that time, the run was 16 feet long, starting from the end of the coop down there behind the garage. This year, my husband added 4 additional feet onto the end, which I will walk back behind the playhouse and show you that. It was a very tough decision to make the conversion because this was, as I said, our daughter's playhouse that we built together back in 2001, and it is drywalled with insulation and electricity, and we just didn't know if it was smart to convert it into a chicken coop. It also had carpet in it, which it does not now. So in a minute we'll go inside, but in order to utilize the current run space, my husband added this thoroughfare, or breezeway I guess you would say, and put the vinyl corrugated roof on top to keep the snow and the rain out. So I actually really love that feature. Sometime down the road we may decide to somehow enclose this small garden space. Well, it's really not that small. It's about 15 feet wide by about 20 feet long. So I may end up enclosing that space with chicken wire just for a secure free range area, because I do let them free range out in our yard occasionally. It's a plenty of space, lots of garden beds, except this one they can't get to. But there's garden beds all around that they can dig and forage in. But technically, according to the ordinance here, we are not supposed to allow our chickens to free range, but we'll just keep that quiet. Okay, so again, this was a playhouse. The front 2 windows are double hung windows, and as we go inside, there's going to be 1 window on each of the remaining 3 walls that are utility style that open left to right. And the door used to open in, but I had my husband remove it and put new hinges on it so that it opens out. And then one day while he was at work, I built this screen door just because I wanted to feel like I had something that I could contribute to it, because he's the master craftsman who builds everything. And we do have this little hook and latch to keep the door secure when we have the door propped open. And then we also have this door or gate latch that he put on so that we can prop the door open in nice weather. I have the door to the run closed off so that they can't come in right now. But as you can see, I went a little bit crazy with decorating. I got my ideas or inspiration from Lisa Steele, Fresh Eggs Daily YouTube page. She has a beautiful coop and property and run, so you should go check out her channel. But yeah, her coop is decorated so cute, and I thought, oh my gosh, I want to do that. And seeing how she was able to keep it clean pretty easily, I just went ahead and went for it. Now this was already painted blue all the way to the floor, and so my husband and I hung this very slick smooth wall paneling. It was actually pretty reasonable priced. I think it was like $20 a panel, and we bought 3 panels. And it washes very nicely. I just spray, spray if there's anything that gets on it, and it comes right off. In addition to that, where he cut the hole in the wall to get to the breezeway, he used some paneling there to make a little door, which I will open. We might get some visitors, but I'll go ahead and open the door, and it hooks up on this little hook and eye right there so the chickens can go in and out. He also created these windows with 1/2-inch hardware mesh. Since these are original household windows with regular screen in them, we wanted to make sure when we have the windows open, which will probably be all the time, that they would still be secure from raccoons and things like that that we do have, and foxes around here. And these are dried natural herbs in these containers on the wall, because we did lose a hen several years ago when she ingested a petal from a silk flower. So there will be no more silk flowers in this chicken house. They were actually in the planter boxes outside. So let's see. And then everything in here I got at Hobby Lobby, of course, on half off. I never pay full price for anything there. And then we wanted to be able to quickly access some treats for them to put into the run. And so I made this shelf, and we got these mason jars, and everything was great until the chickens would actually fly up here, even though they are about 4.5 feet off the ground, and they would roost on top of those jars at night. So my husband made this little roof for the shelf to keep them from getting up there, and it has worked great. I got this roosting bar idea with these heavy-duty metal wall brackets off of another YouTube channel, and I am sorry I can't think of the name off the top of my head. I could go look it up and post it in the links. But otherwise, I got these, I believe they're 18-inch heavy-duty wall brackets, and that way when they're roosting, they're far enough away from the wall that they are not getting poop on the wall paneling, although it's not 100% perfect, because sometimes they manage to get some back there. The egg box is a 2 egg box compartment, and that is by Harris Farms, I believe. They do have one listed on Amazon, but I got this one at the local farm supply store called Baumgar's, and there was one available at Tractor Supply, but when I went to their website, there was no longer any available for shipping, so I went on the hunt and got lucky and found one at our local supply store, and I love it. We haven't had to use it yet because my 2 big hens, which are right here, are still roosting and laying eggs in the original blue chicken coop, and this one will go into use when my new hens, there's one of my black copper marins, when they start laying, they will use that. And that roosting box, I believe I paid $74 for. It's all stainless steel, and the roost bar does fold up, or the access bar I should call it, does fold up, so people can put that up if they want to keep their hens from roosting inside. However, I didn't feel comfortable leaving that up because I just didn't want them to get injured on this. It's not sharp, but it still is protruding out, and they get kind of flighty, and I didn't want them to get injured. So I leave it down, and it looks like they've played in there, but I have a camera in here, which is probably kind of overkill, but because they came out here at 6 weeks old, actually I think they might have even been 4 weeks, I wanted to be able to keep an eye on them. And all of them roost on this bar. Okay, so, and Lisa Steele absolutely does not keep feed in her chicken house, and that is my goal after these chicks are done eating their chick food. But for now, I do have it in here because the idea was that I wanted to keep my big hens out of it, which obviously doesn't work when the door's open, because here they are. So that is our coop. The Playhouse coop is 9 feet by 7 feet, this space. So that wall right there is 9 feet across, and then it's 7 feet across this way. Oh yeah, and I had mentioned that there used to be carpet in here. We ripped out the carpet and we put down one solid sheet of wood look vinyl, and it is the safe kind that does not put out any toxic fumes. I do not remember what that's called, but I made sure that it was safe and had no fumes. So we did that for easy cleanup. And because the screen door, as I said, opens in, we just put this wood wall, so to speak, here to keep the bedding at a very minimal so that we could easily walk in to the space. And then I keep that broom and dustpan hanging there so I can keep it picked up. And also I have a broom which is not hanging yet, that's on a long handle, so that I can dust the walls and ceiling, because it does get pretty dusty in here. I am using regular pine shavings for right now in that deep litter method. I believe there's a bag and a half in here right now, and I was going to look into the hemp bedding to see if that is as great as they say it is as far as the dust. I just have not done that. I figured I would do that for the winter time, since they most likely will be in here a little bit more during the winter, because here in Nebraska we get snow and wind and hail and things like that. So okay, so this video is so far is going longer than I anticipated, but I did say I was going to show the run, so I will take you back behind the coop, because it's just, I can't get around with the breezeway. So here is the additional 4-foot section that my husband added. I did really hope that we would make it taller. It's 4 feet tall right now, so that we could get in there easier to like till up the ground. But he didn't want to have that added expense this year. He says as long as he can bend over and handle the tilling, he'll do it. But we do have a door on this end with it's latched up at the top, and we have a latch at the bottom with a screw in it, so no critters can get in. Like I said, we've had chickens for since 2009, and we've never had a breach in our coop, thank goodness. The hardware mesh on the coop goes down into the ground about 4 inches, plus we have a retaining wall all the way around. So it has been very secure. 2 doors down from us, we have a family that has chickens, and they have it. The new owners have actually built a new coop, so they have the situation under control. But the people prior to that family had several breaches by foxes. But yeah, nothing is getting into this chicken coop with all the retaining brick and the hardware mesh. So in this coop, I'll go ahead and show. My thought was that we would use this going forward as just a feed storage, completely clean it out, get all the food out, close off the nesting boxes so that they don't go in there, because we, like I said, we just have 2 original hens from our first flock. But this year, or maybe it was last winter, was the first time in all these years, 13 years, that we started getting mice. And so I told my husband, he built this feeder where you put the food up at the top and it comes out the bottom, which does pretty well, but the mice have started coming after all these years. So probably gonna close this off, and like I said, keep our food bins in here. Not sure yet We do have some eggs. I keep one fake egg in there just because for a couple of times the chickens were pecking their eggs. So that's a ceramic egg in there. But I did get 2 from the 2 hens today, my Easter eggers. And also we have the water in here, which, you know, if you have any ideas, I've been looking all over YouTube for ideas as far as food, and of course everybody says, oh, this is the best way, and we've tried a few different ways, and they all seem to have their pros and cons. So anyways, hopefully you liked this video and you liked what we've done with the chicken house, converting it. And if you have any questions, just put them in the comments. I did want to point out, these are the flower boxes where I used to keep silk flowers, some nice pretty bright yellow and purple flowers. But after we had that hen get her crop blocked, after I literally watched her suck a yellow petal into her mouth because it blew off in the wind, and 2 days later she died. There was nothing we could do about it. So I have fresh herbs out here, chicken safe herbs, thyme, oregano, basil, and over here I've got lavender, some more thyme, and I forget. Anyway, so yeah, I've been taking some of those off occasionally, plucking them off and drying them and putting them in their bedding or in the roost box, and sprinkled quite a bit in the deep litter method in the coop, hoping that would like help. Seems to be okay as far as the odor, but because we have so many hens right now, which we have to get rid of half of them, I ordered more than we're supposed to have, with the intent that we would pick out the ones we wanted, you know, once we saw what they looked like, and then I would just get rid of the rest, sell the rest, or give them to, I know a few neighborhood farmers that might want them. So anyways, but the fly problem is what I'm getting to. Because there's so many hens in here right now, we have quite a few flies, and those sticky traps are absolutely useless. So if you have a better way of getting rid of flies, please let me know that as well. I know it'll improve when we reduce our flock down to our limit, but for right now it's just been absolutely terrible. All right, well, you guys have a great day and happy chicken farming.